Hello everyone and welcome to another flight in Microsoft Flight Simulator. We are back in Queenstown and we are going to do our return flight to Christchurch in our Airbus A320. We are continuing our New Zealand series and we are now heading back all the way to Auckland. It's going to be separate flights, of course. But today we start with the first one from Queenstown to Christchurch. We are not on the VATSIM network today. We don't have air traffic control here in Queenstown. But that should be fine. Hopefully our next flight from Christchurch back to Wellington is going to have some controllers online. So as you can see, it's quiet here at Queenstown Airport. But that should be fine. It's going to be a nice interesting departure today, which is going to see us doing basically a spiral from takeoff runway and then spiraling over in the protected area until we reach the at least 10,000 feet, and then we can continue because that's the altitude that we're going to be able to clear all this terrain over here. This is freeway scenery of Queenstown from flightsim.to. Very nice looking, and the rest of the area is just really good looking, especially over there in the valley. Okay, today we have got this nice black Air New Zealand livery. We're taking a break from our Lord of the Rings livery that we flew on the one way here. So this time around we're going to probably interchange between this black livery and as well as the black and white one. But today we are using this black one, and we are going to be Air New Zealand 628 today. So New Zealand 628 is going to be our call sign. Okay, and with that, let's hop into the cockpit and start preparing for our flight. We are at the beginning of our leg, so we are going to start cold and dark. We have the ground power attached, so batteries on and external power. And with that, we can pretty much finish setting up the overhead panel. And fuel pumps on as well, and that should be good. So let's import our flight plan over here. We just filed our flight plan a little while ago, so let's have a look at that. What time is it now? It's 23:36. So 23:36 now. Let's see if we can give ourselves some 24 minutes. That should be sufficient time. Mass and balance, we're going to start loading the aircraft. 6,500 is going to be our block fuel. And we should just go ahead and load the aircraft right away. And what just happened there now? It's like GSX just crashed. Let's have a look at it. Yep, definitely crashed. Okay, but that should be fine. Let's just try it once again. So we're going to go reset all and then re-import. Let's see if we can get it to work this time around. GSX.
Refueling truck is on its way. Please don't load aircraft until the fuel truck arrives and ask to do
Okay, much better. So that should be fine. Let's have a look at the operational flight plan over here. New Zealand 628 is our call sign for today. Queenstown to Christchurch, cost index 21. Cruising altitude today, flight level 230. Block fuel, as you've seen, 6,486, which we rounded up to 6,500, and that's what the GSX is going to load into our aircraft. Then in terms of the routing, we're going to take off from runway 05. This doesn't really, it's not really a seed, but we are going to choose a different seed for today.
Please don't load aircraft until the fuel
That
truck
will make
arrives
things a little
and
bit
ask to
easier
begin.
for us. So our departure point is going to be Timjo, so we're just going to pick a seat that takes us to Timjo, and then we're going to arrive on the IPER 1 Foxtrot for runway 20 at Christchurch. This can of course change depending on the weather conditions by the time we get there, but that should be all right. Passengers 164 today, 2.5 tons of cargo. That gives us a payload of 15.6 tons. That should be fine. And then we can do a quick weather briefing. Queenstown winds 050 degrees 4 knots. Very good visibility, no clouds detected. -2 degrees Celsius today, and -4 is going to be the, or rather, it is the dew point today. QNH 1012. And then our destination at the moment, Christchurch, 270 degrees 06 knots for the winds. Visibility is 10 kilometers or more. Should be fine, no clouds detected there either. But by the time we get there, we might find some broken clouds at 6,000 and some higher winds at 10 knots. That should be alright. We'll see when we get there. And then our alternate today is going to be Auckland. Winds over there, 240 degrees 7 knots. Also, very good visibility, but we have got some few clouds at 4,800. Broken at 5,500. It's also cold over there, and it's also forecasted to have a little bit of showers by the time we get there. So, but we are probably unlikely to go to Auckland in any case. Okay, that is our weather briefing in a nutshell. So let's then set up our MCDU quickly. So we're gonna go ATSU, AOC menu, flight init, and request our data from SimBrief. There we go, and then we are going to import the flight route as well. Let's fill in the rest of the information. Cruising altitude 230, and call sign is New Zealand 628. There we go. So then let's import our wind information. And while that's coming, let's open up our preliminary load sheet, which we should have gotten by now. The first one, of course, was when GSX glitched, so we're just going to ignore that and we go on with the first one. So refueling, we said that we are going to put in 6,500 kilograms, so 6.5, and then zero fuel weight is 59.6, and zero fuel weight center of gravity 30.8%. And then we can fill in the rest of the fuel components here. Contingency fuel 0.6, alternate is going to be 2.7, and then minimum destination fuel on board 3.8. so let's see, 2.8 for the alternate, 3.8, yeah, that's correct. Landing takeoff weight 65.9, 65.9, so that is fine. We're going to accept that. Okay, that is good. Still refueling, almost done. We can go ahead and start the APU. APU master, APU start. Boarding is going to commence any moment now. So we're going to just reset this. There we go. Okay, so there's the APU. APU starting. Boarding is requested. While that's coming, let's have a look at what we have planned for today. Queenstown, we're going to take a departure. We're going to take runway 05, and we are going to go with the ANPOV 4 Alpha. This is what we're going to go for. So out of runway 05, we take off, and then we do sort of like a spiral in this protected area. We continue circling until we are able to get to at least above some 10,000 feet, that we can clear this terrain over here, and then only then we can proceed to Metux and then ANPOV, and then we go Timjo under flight level 250. So it's going to be quite an interesting one. Maybe we're going to use the autopilot, but we're going to see if it gets really busy. But we are not on the VATSIM network today, so we'll see how it goes. But it should be pretty okay cycling in this area, and then we can basically escape once we get the required altitude. So let's have a look at that. We're going to go Queenstown departure runway 05 with the ANPOV 4 Alpha arrival with the Timjo transition, or departure rather, with the Timjo transition. We're going to insert that, and then we're going to have a look at it in the navigation display. So that is as we saw. We make a circle, and then we can escape out of here. And then arrival into Christchurch, we said we are going to arrive on runway 02. It's probably going to be RNAV X-ray. RNAV X-ray for runway 20 on the 8 pair 1 Foxtrot. 8 pair 1 Foxtrot is that. You're going to insert that. And then let's have a look at what that looks like. Dop key, there is some discontinuity there. And then that should be, that looks alright. Looks pretty alright. I wonder what happens if we chose an ILS instead. So go ILS 20, but we're going to choose the same star, 8 pair 1 Foxtrot. If we say insert, what happens there? Let's see. Top key 8 pair. Pretty much discontinuities everywhere, so it's better we just go with the RNAV X-ray runway 20, and then that should be fine. So that is all good. This discontinuity we can actually remove. It's just a tiny blip over there, so let's just erase that and close it up, and that should lead to a better VNAV profile as well, estimated on our arrival. Okay, let's have a look at the boarding outside. There we go. We don't have any bus today. The passengers are coming straight from the terminal onto the aircraft. We have a GSX profile for this Queenstown scenery, so this is really good to see. So yeah, looking really nice. Okay, let's switch on the APU bleed, and cruising altitude we're going to set today 230. It's going to be our target. And that should be all good. Let's have a look at the current weather information, because we filed our flight plan a little of a while ago. Temperature is still -2. Wind 030 degrees 4 knots. QNH 1012 hectopascals. That is set. Okay, that is good. Let's quickly look at the forecast for Christchurch. 240 degrees 10 knots. That's still the same with some broken clouds, but it's alright. We'll worry about that when we are en route. Okay, so now we wait for the boarding to complete, and then we can get out of here. Alright, boarding is complete. So there's our load sheet. Let's update our NZP information. So 59.6 is still zero fuel weight, so that is all good. Not going to change it. Zero fuel weight center of gravity has changed a little bit. That is now 31.3%. Block fuel remains the same, 6.5 more or less. Let's see, takeoff weight 65.9, so we're going to accept that and we are good to go. Okay, and with that we are pretty much ready to go. So let's disconnect the external power and ask for pushback from GSX while we do the takeoff performance calculations.
Please stand by for engine start until push is completed and brakes are set.
Alright. So let's see.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Is it going to ask us for de-icing treatment? Probably not. But that's okay. So takeoff performance. Queenstown runway 05. Sync up the weights from the final load sheet. Let's see if we can do a PAX on takeoff today.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
This is a rather short runway, so let's see if we do a flex takeoff. We're going to need flaps 3. What if we do flaps 2? We can do a flex 51 degrees. Yeah, that can be alright. So let's see. Although I'm probably going to be more comfortable using toga. So that is what we're going to do. In any case, we're going to insert that. So V1 127, V rotate 135, V2 135 knots. Flaps 2, tremble horizontal stabilizer 0.2 down, and flex temperature 51 degrees. We're going to send that to the MCDU, and there we go. Okay, so let's see now. Nose right is definitely the correct weight pushback from here, so we're going to go nose right.
Release parking brakes, please.
Parking brake is released.
Commencing push. Due to icing conditions, please stand by for engine start until push is completed and brakes are set.
Alright, no problem. Okay, there is our pushback. Okay. Before startup checklist, cockpit preparation is completed. Barometers are set. QNH 1012. ACARS is initialized. Parking brake is already removed. Fuel on board is confirmed. 6.48. Init B is loaded. Flex temperature is calculated. Takeoff speeds are calculated as well. 127, 135, 135. Startup clearance, we done that. Passenger signs are on and auto. Beacon is on. Transponder, almost forgot about that. We're supposed to do this at the gate actually, but it's okay. Doors are all closed. Okay, very nice pushback with the GSX profile, of course. I expected nothing less. Okay, so before startup checklist is completed, we are going to set the parking brake now, and then we're going to start the engines.
Please set parking brakes.
Parking brakes are set. Start engine number 2. Okay, that's our engine pretty much started. So available, so engine number 1 start, and we can remove the ground crew.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Unlocking gear. Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Left is clear, right is clear.
Okay, engines are started, bypass pin is removed, so let's hop back into the cockpit and put our ignition at normal, and then we can switch off the APU as well. And there is a ground crew walking away. It's going to show us the pin, and with that we are going to be clear to go. There we go. Okay, so after setup checklist, ground equipment is removed, anti-ice is not required. Flaps 2 extending. APU is coming off, your electric pump is on. Trim 0.2 down. Set. Cabin doors are armed. ECAM status checked. And with that, after startup checklist is complete. Okay, and with that we are pretty much ready to taxi, but it's going to be a rather short taxi. Let's do our flight control check here as well. Flight controls, ailerons, full left, full right, neutral, elevators, full down, full up, neutral, rudder pedals, full left, full right, neutral. Flight control check is complete. Okay, and with that we're going to switch on taxi lights, and wing lights can come on as well, and we are ready for taxi. Parking brakes off, and there we go. We are going to take off from runway 05 of Christchurch. Not Christchurch, but Queenstown. This is really nice scenery for freeware for New Zealand airport, which freeware kind of hard to find, or really good freeware is kind of hard to find for New Zealand airports. But this one really nice, but you have to get the GSX profile for it, otherwise you have to do quick edit pushback in order to get the pushback to work correctly with GSX. Cabin is secure for takeoff.
Hi, Captain. The cabin is now secure for takeoff.
Thank you. Okay, they make a right hand turn here. Landing lights and strobe lights are gonna come on because we are entering an active runway now. TCAS should come on as well. Okay, clear right side, clear left side. And we're going to enter the runway and line up. Auto brake max, spoilers, armed, takeoff config, test. Okay, that is good. And then weather radar on. Okay, before takeoff checklist, flight controls are checked, TCAS is TRA, departure briefing is done, flaps are set, ECA memo, takeoff no blue. Takeoff runway 05 is confirmed, strobes are on, packs are on for takeoff today. Okay, so before takeoff checklist is complete. Okay, now we have to make a U-turn here. This rather small runway or narrow runway, and then we do something sharp. Try not to lose our speed in the turn. Okay, that was sharp, but nothing a good amount of thrust cannot fix. And with that, we are pretty much ready to go. We can start the clock and let's go. 1.2 EPR, stable, Toga, SRS, auto thrust blue. We are rolling 80 knots. V1, rotate. Positive rate of climb, gear up. And there we go. Okay, so we are going to try and hand fly most of this spiral over here. If it doesn't get too busy, so set climb thrust, point the nose down a little bit to accelerate and follow the flat director. Very nice. Very interesting scenery. Really nice. So we're going to have to make this turn inside of this protected area in between all of these mountains here. While we are still doing our climb. Okay, there's our turn coming up. We are going to keep it flaps 2 until we get out of here. Really good departure. You basically get a tour of Queenstown before you depart. I wish they could actually make an arrival like this one. That basically makes it a spiral into landing for runway 05 or runway 23. That would definitely be something. Would be very challenging for the pilots, but would make for spectacular views for the passengers. And there is our airport over there. This is a really fantastic departure. Really amazing. It's nice to hand fly as well. There is Queenstown down below. Should make for nice viewing as well for the people on the ground, watching all of these aircraft taking off and making like some sort of spirals in the sky. Okay, 10,000 feet. We are going to switch off the landing lights, but I think it's better to keep the seatbelt sign on until we are out of this spiral. We're going to have to level off at 11,000 feet. Now to make that altitude constraint. That's coming up. But we just passed the waypoint now. And we are safe to do flaps 1. Okay, 12,000 feet coming up. Yeah, that looks fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Really fantastic. Really good. Okay, and we are soon going to leave Queenstown. So let's go. I think now it's time to switch on the autopilot and head straight to Metux. That was an absolutely marvelous departure. Absolutely fantastic. I wouldn't mind flying it again. So flaps 0, spoilers disarm. And I think now we can switch off the seatbelt sign as well. Okay, looks like the aircraft was accelerating past the flaps 1 speed. But I guess that's alright. Just caught it by a tiny bit. And now we get to enjoy some of the scenery again in this mountainous terrain over here. Really looking good. Really looking good. Okay, Metux is coming up. After that, the altitude constraint of 12,000 is going to be lifted. And then we can continue climbing to our cruising altitude of flight level 230, which is going to be below the flight level 250 by Team Joe. Okay, so let's enjoy some more scenery of our departure out of Queenstown. Okay, we passed our transition altitude. Altimeter set to standard. Okay, anyway that, we are straight up to Avtor and then Team Joe. And we're going to reach our cruising altitude just before Team Joe. Low cruising altitude today, but that's because it's going to be a short flight. Okay, so let's just enjoy some more scenery, and then I'll see you during the cruise phase when we have to brief for our arrival into Christchurch. Okay, we are still cruising at flight level 230. Top of descent is coming up any moment now. So let's take some time to brief for our arrival. We said from our flight plan that we're going to arrive on the ITPA 1 Foxtrot, which is that one over there for runway 20. So let's have a look at that. ITPA 1 Foxtrot, we are going to arrive through Dopke, above flight level 110, not flight level 110, 11,000 feet, because the transition level is 13,000. So then Dopke, then ITPA above 10,000, and then Airvax, which is going to be our initial approach fix. There we should target be just above 4,000 feet, and then maximum 210 knots. And then from here we're going to follow the RNP X-ray for runway 20. Okay, so let's have a look at that. That is exactly what we entered. So RNAV X-ray, runway 20, ITPA 1 Foxtrot. That is entered already. And all that's left is to enter the destination data for arrival performance. We are going to ask for the weather information through the MCDU today. Just switching it up. So let's see, weather request. It's going to be New Zealand, Christchurch. For META information. And then we go back and wait for the there's the weather data. Okay, let's see performance. QNH is 1009. Temperature is 6 degrees Celsius. Winds are 260 degrees, 07 knots. This is much better than what the winds were when we took off from Queenstown. No clouds detected, so very good visibility. So let's have a look at what is going to be our minimums for today. So if we have a look at our RNAV X-ray runway 20, which basically just loops around while we are descending, it's going to require us to have a minimums of 500 feet and an RNP precision of 0.3. Okay, going to enter that in just a moment, but we are coming up on the top of descent now. 11,000 feet is going to be our target. So yeah, we're going to start our descent a little bit early. So down we go. So 500 feet. It's going to be our barrow, and then full config landing, approach speed 139 knots. We're also going to do required precision of 0.3, and that should be okay. And since we are going to do an RNAV today, or RNP, we're going to want to extend the runway center line. But first, let's just have a look at our progress page. We are 60 miles out. So let's see, extend the runway center line. Going to be New Zealand, Christchurch, runway 20. What is the radial? Let's see, ground charts, airport information. Runway 20, that's going to be 016 degrees. Okay, that should be okay. That's see, runway center line should be extended now. Yep, there it is. So very good. All right, looks good to me. So terrain is pretty much no longer an issue here. It's all flat, pretty much as far as one can see. So going to be nice flat terrains on arrival into Christchurch. Message from New Zealand operations, we are not delayed. That is good. Okay, we are descending on the profile. Let's just pre-select our QNH, which we said was 1009, and then put it back on standard. Okay, 12,000 feet, not 12,000 feet, but 13,000 feet is past now, which is going to be, it was our transition level. So set local QNH. 11,000 is past, or rather coming up soon, but that altitude restriction is already passed. So let's target 10,000 feet now by IDPER. But as you can see, the marker there shows that we're going to reach 10,000 feet just after IDPER. So we're just going to continue descending on the profile over there. So let's take the opportunity to do our landing performance calculation as well. Runway 20, refresh the meta information and apply that. And then what is our landing weight? We can use our current weight today, 64.4. It is a rather long runway, so I don't anticipate any issues. And as you can see, landing distance available 3,200 meters. Only need about 2,100 of that, so that is alright. But we do have a 7 knot crosswind, which is rather high, but that's okay. We have a 4 knot headwind as well. Okay, low auto brake, and then idle or no reverses. Okay, we're going to target 4,000 feet now. We should be getting the VDEV and LDEV by the time we get to RVAX. But there we go. Slowing down to 250 knots, and that's the time now to switch on the landing lights as well. Those lights can stay off, and then seatbelt sign can come on as well. Okay, there we go. Continuing on the profile. Struggling a little bit to keep the speed under control. Let's use some speed brake. Help out the autopilot.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will shortly be landing. Please ensure your cabin bag is safely stowed with your laptop inside. Your tray table must be stowed, armrests down and window blinds open. You now need to be seated with your seatbelt fastened ready for landing. Please help us by handing in any rubbish, newspapers, magazines.
Not sure what is happening there, just hanging all of a sudden, but it looks to be all recovered now, so that should be fine. Okay, then we continue our descent. Once we reach 4,000 feet, we are going to level off. But there we go. We have the VDEV and LDEV, so we're going to arm the approach, and then we're going to catch that profile. So let's just retract the speed brake for a moment there. Not really going to need it, but we are slowing down to our approach speed, so we are going to keep the flaps 0 so we can maintain the green dot speed for a moment, unless we see that the approach is getting rather steep. Really nice green farmland in Christchurch. It's looking good. Okay, there we are following the profile. Very nice and dead on. Let's see what is our go around altitude. Okay, let's see, go around the altitude 4,000 feet. That is all good. Just go direct toe sig. 4,000 feet is what we have on the MSP, so that is fine. We're going to continue. We are going a little bit too fast for my liking, so we're going to use the speed brake.
Crew must now be seated for landing. Thank you. Hi, Captain. The cabin is now secure for landing.
Cool, thank you. Okay, we can go flaps 1 now. Okay, still slowing down. Airport should be somewhere on our right hand side, just right out of this turn. Flaps 2. Slow down some more. Okay, we're gonna go gear down. Those were lights on as well. Still using the spoilers. Okay, I think that should be fine now. Sufficiently slow. Flaps 3. Spoilers armed. Approach checklist. ECAM status is checked. Approach type and runway. RNAV runway 02, runway 20. Minimas are set. Approach phase is active. Parameters are set. QNH 1009. And that is good. Landing checklist. Auto brake set. Missed approach altitude 4,000 feet. ECAM memo. Landing no blue. Landing checklist complete. Okay, there's our runway.
1,000.
You can see the puppies, 2 red, 2 white. Really nice views. There's Christchurch over there. Some nice countryside, it looks like, on this side of the airport. Autopilot off. Okay, let's do this. Send flight the rest of the way in. We have that crosswind coming from our right hand side.
100 above. 500. Minimum.
But we are so far maintaining the profile.
$300. 200. 100. 40, 30, 20, retard. 5.
Come on. There we go. Almost floated it too long, but I'll take that any day. Full reversers. 60 knots. And we can vacate through here. Okay, just eased off a little bit too early from the reversers there, but that's okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, the cabin crew will shortly be leaving their seats to perform safety-related duties. However, we ask that you remain seated.
Can clear that.
Fasten seatbelt sign has been switched off. Portable electronic
We are still on an active runway.
or internet access may now be used.
So we're going to keep the landing lights
All your personal belongings with
as well as the strobe lights on.
underneath the seat and in the overhead lockers. Do take care opening the overhead lockers as items may have moved during flight. Smoking is not permitted until you reach a designated smoking area.
Okay, there we
On behalf of
go.
the captain and the crew, it has been our pleasure
Once we
to
pass the
look after you
threshold,
today.
we can consider ourselves fully vacated. We're going to take stand 16 today. So let's see, stand 16 should be somewhere there. There we go. Okay, strobes off, landing lights off. Put it on taxi. And then slow down some more so that we can remove the TCAS as well as the weather radar and start the APU. APU master, APU start. This we can clear. Stand 16 is that one on our left hand side. Let's stop the clock as well, switch off the lights, entering the gate. And we can make our turn here to stand 16. Make sure we can actually make this turn. Okay. Okay, flaps are up, spoilers disarmed. We are not going to get the chance to do the after landing checklist right away. It's fine, we can do it at the gate. I think we have pretty much covered everything that we need to cover. So let's continue. Stand number 16. Okay, I'm happy with that. APU is started. Wing lights can come off already. Spoilers are retracted. Flaps are up. And we can stop the engines. So engine number 2 and engine number 1 off. We can switch on the APU bleed. And with that, we have arrived at Christchurch. So welcome everyone. stand number 16. Do we have our arrival message from New Zealand operations? Of course we do. Arrival 0045 Zulu. There we go, just about a minute of taxi time, 42 minutes of flight time today. So rather nice and short flight. Okay, and with that we are ready to start deboarding. So beacon light is off, seatbelt sign off as well, and we can connect to the available external power. And there's our jetway connecting to deboard the passengers. We can do the after landing checklist. Exterior lights are set. So wing lights off already. Beacon is off, strobes are off, nav and logo lights can remain on, landing lights are all off.
Passengers deboarding start.
Okay, then flaps are up, ground spoilers are disarmed, APU is on, weather radar is off, TCAS is on standby. So after landing checklist is complete, parking checklist, yellow electric pump is off, engines are off, cabin doors are disarmed, beacon light is off, seatbelt sign is off as well, and we can set the transponder to 2000 and on standby. And with that, parking checklist is complete. Let's make sure the chocks are in place. Ground services, chocks are in place. We can remove the parking brake. And with that, we are ready to deboard the passengers. Let's have a look outside. Okay, welcome back to Christchurch, New Zealand. Very nice Orbex scenery today. We have chosen a different stand, which is on the other side of the airport. Last time we parked over there and we departed from here, I believe. So today we are at stand 16, and then next time we do a flight from here, we're gonna try the other side of the airport. Okay, there is our baggage being offloaded as well. Appears to be like a glitch here on the cargo side of things, but it's okay. I think everything else is all good. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and end the flight here. I hope you enjoyed that fantastic departure from Queenstown. We are going to do one more departure out of Queenstown all the way to Auckland, New Zealand, but that's going to be for another video. So stick around and you will be treated to another one of those departures, hopefully. So I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you in the next one.